Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I'll be doing a crazy dump and swirl with the ribbon pour on top of it. These are the colors I'll be using. For something different, I'm going to be adding some liquitex pouring medium. So my paints, the colors will be mixed 1 part paint, 2 parts Floetrol, okay, and then 1 part pouring medium with just a splash of water to get them all as even as possible. So you can see I have some deco art paints, some ready to pours, and I'm going to be adding some Flood Foetrol into these 3 colors here, the red, the orange, and the black, which will be poured in the ribbon pour. So I got 3 ounces of paint, 1 drop per ounce, that's 3 drops per cup. So here's my colors here. The first 3 are going to be the ribbon pour, and then the other colors are going to be in the dump and swirl. So I'm going to hold this up, check my consistencies. Now the color I'm going to be using for the dump is going to be black, which is thinned out a bit, and that's to the far right. So that should be thinner than the other colors. So you notice that the blue-green did not really run, so I'm going to add some water to that, stir it up real good, and we're going to try to get these evened out. And we'll see what we have now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and see, now it's 1.5 inches long like the other ones. The other ones got longer because they were tipped a second time. So the blue needs a little bit more. It's a little short. Throw a little water in that, stir it up. And we'll see what we have here. Here we go. I got plenty of water in there. You can see it really poured out, so I'm going to stir that up a little bit more. Stirring it up, we'll thicken it up. So I'm going to put a splash of water in this one here. It's a copper. Okay, so we got them all pretty even. So this dumping color, like I said, I want it thinner than the background color, and I want it thinner than the colors. So we're going to thin that out a little bit with some water. I want it to be able to pour across the colors real easily and get it off the canvas. This is my black that's going to be part of the ribbon pour. We'll see what we have here. We're going to go with that. So now it's time to do the background. I'm going to speed through this, listen to some music, and I'll talk to you on the other side. All right, so you see the paint's a little thinner on the middle. That's because that's where I'm gonna be dumping my colored paint. So there's gonna be plenty of paint there. I don't want an excess amount of paint in the middle. So that's why I'm not too worried about having a bunch of paint there. Wiping down the edges, and we're ready to go with our colors. I'm starting with the Deco Art White Satin Enamel. And you can tint this color, which I do frequently. Tint it to make it blue, green, red, whatever you want. So here's my blue-green. Little magenta metallic. I think they call it rose actually. Copper. Brighter blue metallic. And here's my dumping color. It's the thinned out black. So I'm going to try to cover most of this paint up with this black. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to tip this one way, then back, keep going back to center, get it off the edge, go back to center. I want to end up with a kind of a negative space in the center where I can do my ribbon pour. This is real time, so I'm actually tipping this pretty fast to get the paint poured off the edges. Here we go to the corner, get it out the corner, tip it back. So I'm getting the majority of the paint back to center. Then I'll be tipping in the opposite directions. So now I'm going to this corner. Got it off the corner, now I just got one more. By pouring the dump paint across the colors, you're kind of messing with the striations of the paint, which causes the cells to come through the color, through the black, the dump color. So you're disturbing those paints, and as you'll see, they will start popping through the black. I got just a little bit left to go on that lower left corner. And I'm going to try to get it back to center, and you'll start seeing the colors come through. Got a little blob of blue left there I'm going to try to get rid of. Being kind of stubborn. All right, so you can see some cells popping through already. I'm getting it back to center so I can guess where my negative space is going to be. You can't tell right now because the cells haven't reacted yet. Okay, so I'm centering it back on my spinner. I'm popping the air bubbles with the torch, which also speeds up the cells coming up. It activates them. So you need to do this. So you can see they're coming up. That's sped up times 4, so you can see a little time lapse. They're really coming up now. So my negative space, you can see, is a little to the bottom of the canvas from where we're looking at it. So I'm coming up with my initial pattern, which is going to be a spiral. I started with the black that has the Floetrol in it. Now I'm going with orange over the spiral. That should sink into the black. I'm going to take some red, do the same thing. I'm going to go with the black with the Floetrol over that. Just try to get a skinny little stream in there. There you go. Now when I start tipping this, that's going to activate these colors too, and you'll start getting some funky reactions from the Floetrol. Alright, so now I'm looking at the balance of my composition, and I see I have a lot of negative space over here on this left corner, so I'm going to add some more color. I'm going to repeat the process: black, then the orange metallic, then the red, then the black on top of it. So we have a balanced composition. Alright, so I see a lot of the black that I put on there has sunken into the other colors. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of break up the orange and red with some, doing a little bit of weaving back and forth with this black. Now, sometimes this black will just disappear into these colors, but when it does, it takes the red and orange with it. So what it'll do is it'll create kind of a skeletal quality. It looks like the ribbons have joints in them in the end, which is really cool, I think. So I'm going back and forth from tipping it, moving it back and forth on the canvas, make sure I don't have way too much paint on there, using my torch. then the last thing you do is get it centered how you want it on the canvas for the optimum composition. Alright, so I think I have it how I want it. I'm going to be zooming in here so you can see a close-up of the wet canvas. Then I'll show you the dry version, and hopefully you like it. It's definitely different. I'm going to be trying different experiments with different patterns and different color combinations in the future. I really appreciate you coming to visit this week and watching this video. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't. But this is pretty cool, I think. As you can see, some of the black has disappeared, but you can see the joints in the ribbon, like I was saying, how it looks kind of skeletal almost. Again, I want to thank the Surf Zombies for providing the background music. They're awesome. Really appreciate them a lot. Please subscribe and tune in next week, and we'll talk to you then. Thanks a ton. Really appreciate it.